Hi, my name is David Bindle and I am the Special Collections Librarian at the University of Saskatchewan Library. The topic that I wish to present to you today revolves around the opportunities for enhancing our collections by using online self-publishing services and how we can go about creating new library reference materials based on our rare collections or unique primary resources. My interest in self-publishing book services stems from a project involving the digitization of 50 medieval manuscript leaves housed in special collections at the University of Saskatchewan Library. As both a librarian and a professional photographer, I was unsatisfied with a previous and fairly expensive attempt to photograph and present these manuscripts online, and so I went about creating my own extensive photographic record of these documents. This included very high magnification images of many of the smallest details of the text, rubrications, initial letterings, and illuminations found on many of the manuscript pages. An inexpensive online book publishing service is being used to produce a 215-page reference guide to the manuscript collection. In special collection libraries, digitization and online presentation is a popular way to promote the discovery and use of their resources. And as a special collection librarian with my background in photography, it was natural that I would be involved with digitization efforts for creating online access to a wide variety of unique and rare materials held by our institution. Just as other libraries are doing, we endeavor to promote and disseminate our special collection materials via online exhibitions and content management systems, which are capable of providing 24/7 worldwide access to these resources. There is no doubt that this kind of work is important. However, in our haste to make everything we scan and photograph available online, has the digitization pendulum swung too far in only one direction? In our collective excitement about online access, I suggest that we may be missing opportunities in repurposing these digital images to their more complete potential, that is, also into the form of the traditional physical book. Notwithstanding, there are already many examples of books published about particular collections or manuscripts that are held in prestigious libraries all around the world. However, the majority of these physical book manifestations are the result of a very expensive venture using traditional publishing methods where large numbers of copies are produced and warehoused for hopeful eventual sale. I'd like to describe a methodology of using a much less expensive form of publishing for special collections libraries to create their own reference books, facsimiles, or exhibition catalogs. So enter the self-publishing or print-on-demand or POD services from companies such as Blurb and Lulu. Until recently, there was no economical way for a library or any one person to create a professional-looking single copy of a large hardcover book with a dust jacket and quality sewn binding. With new online workflows and production methods from companies such as Blurb and Lulu, it is now possible to do just that. The idea of printing on-demand services allow for books to be printed at a fixed cost per item. The cost of each unit is a bit more expensive per item, but the overall cost of printing the exact number of books required is considerably less because even small print runs created with traditional offset printing have relatively substantial setup costs. This enables libraries or individuals to easily create very limited printings of guides, facsimiles, or compilations. These books can be printed on demand as the need or demand arises. There are no additional publisher fees, warehousing, or distribution fees. Other libraries or individuals can order the book and it will be delivered to them usually within a few weeks or perhaps even sooner. So in what ways can this benefit your library? It can bring together all of the elements in a collection and tie all of the related information about the collection into one place. Researchers in the reading room who are examining primary resources will probably appreciate the convenience of a bound reference book which aids in navigation through the collection. It can provide a robust circulating copy for faculty, students, or the general public to use, or it can be put on reserve for classes studying these materials. Once cataloged, for those reporting their holdings to OCLC, it establishes an entry in WorldCat, which also aids in the overall discovery of the collection. It also reduces the amount of handling of the primary materials, thereby functioning as a preservation activity. The creation of new skill sets, which includes photography, layout, writing, publishing knowledge, and marketing knowledge. This whole process makes the participating staff much more knowledgeable about the materials. Digital images can now serve a dual purpose, both online and physical manifestations. The process has the potential to promote collaboration between various sets of stakeholders such as teaching faculty, students, researchers, and librarians. Beyond just photographic reproduction, there is much that can be added to increase the overall value of the book. This can include editorial enrichment such as commentaries, essays, anecdotal notes, notes on the provenance, or other suggested readings. Keep in mind, with the POD online bookstore services, any institution, library, or individuals can order a copy, but there is no initial investment in those to-be-sold copies. The author or library only needs to pay for the exact number of copies needed. Now, the types of materials that could be considered for this type of application include collections of artifacts, letters, postcards, and photographs, magazine or book cover art, posters, ephemeral materials, producing exhibition catalogs, and of course rare books and manuscripts. Here are some examples of how one can use the BookSmart tool offered as a free download from Blurb to produce a reference book about our collection of medieval manuscript leaves. It includes images of students examining the leaves, the original index cards that come with the collection, images of even the original boxes, and of course the manuscripts themselves. Not only are the complete manuscript pages shown, but both recto and verso, but the images were also taken of many of the smallest details of the artwork, penmanship, hidden indicators, insect and worm damage, even the hair follicles on the vellum itself. Here's an example of a short blurb regarding the use of the manuscript collection as a teaching tool by one of the teaching faculty. To illustrate the point, I've also added images of the students using the materials. At the bottom, we can see how the BookSmart software can help navigate through the book as it's being constructed. This image shows the complete dust jacket in the BookSmart software, complete with a front flap at right and the rear flap at the left. Both flaps have additional images, and I've also inserted introduction and thank you comments. Although there are other print-on-demand services, I've chosen to speak about Blurb and Lulu because they are the most familiar to me, and I just wanted to note some of the similarities and the differences between them. Now, both of them provide a variety of book sizes and formats, both hardcover, softcover, dust jackets or image wraps on hardcovers. Now, Lulu provides an ISBN free of charge. You can also procure an ISBN if you want to use Blurb. Lulu features, well, it says on their website, global distribution on Lulu's marketplace, Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and more. And after setting book prices for online sales, the author or the library or whoever keeps 80% of that revenue with Lulu and 100% of that revenue with Blurb. Lulu has no particular book creation tool like Blurb has. Lulu simply prints what you have already created. Now, Blurb offers its BookSmart software for free, but also has recently launched a new way to collaborate on book design online. Lulu offers other products that it can sell through its bookstore, such as calendars, brochures, and digital media such as CDs, DVDs, and digital files such as PDFs or electronic books, basically. Well, that is it. Thank you for visiting and viewing this presentation on the 2010 Conference on the Book YouTube channel. I hope I have inspired at least someone to consider creating their own book based on something you may have there tucked away in your special collections.